Good morning, Night Owl video subscribers and maybe first time drop-ins. Welcome to a brand new episode of Cult Movie Tuesdays right here on Night Owl Video. Today I am talking about the 1985 film Tuff, which is right here beside me. I'll bring it up closer so you can see. This was the first time watch for me. I'd never seen this movie before. This flew under my radar apparently back in the 80s when I was a teenager, which is surprising given the cast with James Spader, but we'll get into that in a minute. I hope everybody's doing really well out there. The summer is in full effect. I have been riding my bike a lot and not necessarily watching a lot of movies. I'll tell you, my latest obsession is 70s game shows. So I've been, if you go on YouTube and do a search for Match Game 75 with Gene Rayburn, I've been like consuming that game show like wildfire. It just gives me vibes. I don't know. I was thinking about it the other day. When I was loafing about watching some Gene Rayburn, that the reason I think that it hits home with me is because I'm guessing summer of 75, I would have been 5 years old. And what I'm thinking is that I would have been home from school for the summer. And I probably was watching those shows on the television with my mom while my dad was at work. So no wonder these shows have such a nostalgic impact on me, but that's perhaps for another video. I'm repping another one of my favorite radio stations, local 107.3 FM out of St. John, New Brunswick. So go check them out. Shout out to Brandon. But today we are talking about Tuff. Yes, this is a drama film from 1985. It was directed by a person named Fritz Kiersch, who also directed Children of the Corn and the Swamp Thing 1990 TV show. Children of the Corn is a weird one for me. I used to really not like that movie. I don't know why. I didn't like it. But in the last couple of years, especially around Halloween, I've been revisiting it and kind of getting into it a little bit. This film stars James Spader, as I mentioned, and looking very fine in this movie, I might add. A young James Spader. As well as Kim Richards, who was also in Escape to Witch Mountain. And this also stars a young Robert Downey Jr. The synopsis for Tuff is the new kid in school must battle a gang of street toughs after stealing the gang leader's girl. It sounds like a 50s movie, which I guess it kind of is. It's kind of got that rumble, switchblade kind of vibe to it, but set in the 80s. Apparently, the producer, Donald Borchers, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, has said that the head of production had once considered halting the creation of this film after the financial failure of another awesome 80s flick, Streets of Fire. And if you go back on my channel under my Cult Movie Tuesdays playlist, you'll find I did a review of that several years back when my channel was just starting out. Another movie I had never seen in my life. I had heard of Streets of Fire, but I'd never seen it. And I actually really enjoyed that movie as well. So that movie flopped at the box office, and this was the next in line to be created. And apparently producer Donald Borchers said, so I don't know. The screenwriter apparently wrote the movie in 3.5 weeks, and the film was shot over a four-week period in Los Angeles, California. Allegedly, the original role that Kim Richards played was originally considered, the original actress that was considered for the role was none other than pop star Madonna, but apparently she wanted to do Desperately Seeking Susan, and so she didn't take the role, and it was then given to Kim Richards. According to Wikipedia, the producer then offered the role to Kim Richards. Unfortunately, and this is allegedly, because nobody wants to get in hot water, but allegedly the producer did not realize that Kim Richards had a very bad cocaine problem, and this caused a lot of turmoil in the filming of Tuff, Turf. Now, another role that was apparently going to go to a different actor, and that was the role that Robert Downey Jr. played, was originally going to go to our wild man, Crispin Glover. It's good. It's good. So could you imagine if this film had Madonna and Crispin Glover supplementing James Spader? Would have been a totally different movie, I think. And maybe a little more wacky. This movie is a little wacky, though, but I'll get into that in a minute. This film currently holds a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes, and although that is only based on 6 reviews, so I don't know if you can really hold much faith in that. The audience poll on the opposite side gave it a 59%. And on IMDb, it has a 6/10. So yeah, this was apparently not popular with critics. But I'm guessing this is a movie that was a cult favorite for people in the 80s and subsequently in the decades after seeing this film. This was sort of a beloved cult favorite. And I've watched some other YouTubers that do movie reviews and talk about movies like this, including this one, and they have very fond memories of it. So this is what sort of encouraged me to pick it up, because I probably would have just passed on this had I not known that this was anything to consider much beyond just like a throwaway kind of like, it's free on Tubi or whatever, or it's free on YouTube, but glad I picked this one up. This is a weird DVD. It's, I know it looks very, it almost looks like a burn on demand kind of thing. It's put out by a company called Top 10 New Media Production Limited. And then, yeah, I don't know much about this. It does have a barcode, so I guess it is, somewhat legit, but maybe they just got the rights. Maybe this is perhaps back before boutique labels were popular, and this was, but you can see the disc. I don't know if this actually is a, no, it's not a DVD-R, but it's definitely got those kind of vibes, but I'm glad I picked it up. The picture quality is actually not that bad. It's a bit better than VHS, but obviously not as good as Blu-ray. But yeah, the cover looks very, I don't know if you can see that, but it looks very like photocopied on a better than good home printer or something. I don't know. Very weird. I had another movie like from the same company, but it was really bad. I'm trying to think of, I think it was Eaten Alive, maybe. But yeah, this is actually watchable. So if you see this copy out in the wild, go ahead and grab it. It's decent. I think it's in 4:3 aspect ratio, so that's a bit annoying. But if you like those kind of nostalgic vibes, it works. My thoughts on this film, Tuff, Turf with James Spader. I had never seen this movie, and honestly, I was kind of blown away by it. I thought this was such a fun movie to watch. It totally, I guess my next point was that I thought James Spader was super cool in this movie. I've only really known James Spader as the bad guy in Pretty in Pink. I use that term loosely, but bad guy, but he was sort of the I don't know, what would you call it? I guess like a tough, like a preppy tough in Pretty in Pink. And growing up, I always really did not like James Spader because I always associated him with that character. Not to say I didn't like him totally, but I was just like, I don't know, he just gives me kind of yucky vibes. But in this movie, it sounds creepy because I'm almost 16. He's probably like 18 in this movie, but he was totally like, he was really hot in this movie. I'm not going to lie. And just super cool in this movie. Like, he had that cool, like, feathered back hair. And he just has that kind of coolness about him. I mean, in Pretty in Pink, he was kind of that way too, but like he was so arrogant in that movie. But in this one, he's just cool. I thought the soundtrack was really good, really matched the vibe of the movie. Lots of like kind of 80s vibes. Jim Carroll Band, I think, was in there. I can't really say I knew a lot of the artists, but it just had really good vibes as far as like it really sent me back to the 80s with that music. The fight scene at the end is spectacular to watch, really fun. A little campy, but like if you like that stuff, you're gonna love it. Obviously, this is an exaggeration of 80s cliques or 80s kind of like crowds. I know people would probably laugh, but, and of course, being almost 60, I don't know what it's like at junior high or high school anymore, but when I was in high school, it was literally like, here's in the cafeteria, it was like at lunchtime, here's the metalheads, here's the nerds, here's the punks, here's the preppies, here's the dirt bags, you know, like, it was literally like that. And so this is like another one of those ones where it's like, it looks like an exaggeration at this point in history, but it actually wasn't that far off. But just had that kind of vibe, like the Breakfast Club. You know how each of those characters was like from a different kind of scene or crowd, and that was honestly, that's how it was. But the drama in it was really good. James Spader was actually really convincing in this role. Yeah, so again, this takes me right back to the 80s. Not necessarily my 80s, but definitely kind of, you know, that era. It really captures that era, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Cool little movie if you like that kind of feel. I would actually say this would make a fun double bill with Streets of Fire. So if you like Streets of Fire, you might dig this. Or if you're watching one of those John Hughes movies, but you want something a little more edgy, and I use that term loosely, check out Tuff, Turf. This was a New World Pictures production, and if you watch the trailer for this movie, which I did, it how did I word this? It's like, it really looks like a low-budget movie trying to be a tougher version of a John Hughes movie, almost not sure where it wants to sit, a trashy cult flick or an edgier teen drama from the 80s. So I think I worded that a little more eloquently than I could have just said it off the top of my head. But yeah, just a fun little 80s movie, a bit gritty. There's some other ones I haven't seen from like Street Trash and ones like that. I just didn't rent those when I was a teenager, and then, you know, growing up, I just didn't really get around to watching a lot of these kind of more cult ones. You can see here, actually, this is a really good example of how kind of like crappy this, like, they've got the barcode over the name of the movie, and then this weird picture of James Spader. Yeah, so what else can I say about Tuff Turf? Fun movie, fun movie. There's I don't know if you can see that picture, but this really like sums up the kind of vibes here. It's like these, like, you know, tough new kid that moves to town. There's like this sexy girlfriend, and there's like these toughs, and like, it's just got all the things in it. So guys, that's my thoughts on Tuff Turf. Did you see this movie? Did you like it? Did you grow up? Maybe you grew up with this, and this is like maybe this is like a beloved cult favorite of yours. This will definitely be one that I'll probably revisit over the years. But I know that this one, I think, has like a boutique release, so maybe down the road, if I find a better copy of it, I'll grab it. But for now, happy to have this in my collection. Happy to revisit it. I don't know if this is available for streaming anywhere. I guess if I didn't have it and I wanted to watch it, I might check out Tubi or maybe YouTube. There might be a copy of it on there. Not that I encourage you to watch bootlegged copies of things, but although this might easily be a bootleg, I don't know. But yeah, Tuff Turf, super cool movie. I hope you dug my review. If you did, consider giving me the thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already and you like this kind of content. Cult movies, horror movies, physical media, thrifting hauls, all that kind of jazz. I'm going to be around doing that stuff for hopefully for a while. I just celebrated my 3rd anniversary of this channel a couple months ago, or I guess like a month ago, which I actually didn't do anything big dealish for that, but now that I think about it. But yeah, I think I'm sitting at about 650 as far as subscribers. I really would like to get to 1,000 this year, but maybe that's a gross overestimation, but I'm working towards it. I mean, when I started this channel 3 years ago, I had like 12 subscribers, and I'm amazed at how many people have joined me for this journey as I talk to you about films and physical media and things like that. So if you're digging it, consider subscribing. Hello to anybody out there who is a new viewer. Shout out to all of my regular commenters, Avenger, Corey, Tanya. Shout out to all my homies and my homegirls and my home in-betweeners. And I hope you're all doing well out there. It's a wild time. I've actually stopped watching the news the last week and been feeling really good. So, like, up here. So, you know, take good care of yourselves. Don't overdo it with consuming all that bad stuff, because it will get to you, baby. It will get to you. On another fun note, if you've made it this far, next week is the first day of summer, and guess what? I'm doing my top favorite summer movies. So if you're looking for cool recommendations for summer viewing, tune in on the 21st, which I believe is the first day of summer, thereabouts, and I will have possibly, definitely one, maybe two videos of my all-time favorite movies to watch during the summer season. So, guys, there's other channels out there who are already starting to show stores carrying Halloween stuff, like, not here, but like in the States. TJ Maxx and Michael's and all these places are starting to get in like Halloween stuff, and it's getting me so pumped for the autumn. But I do really want to like absorb as much sunshine and happiness as I can in the summer. So, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking forward to the autumn and Halloween season. Of course, my favorite time of year, or one of my favorite times. But anyway, that's it for today. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned next week for my all-time favorite summer movie recommendations. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. But until then, you know the drill. I will catch you at the video store or at the thrift store or just out and about somewhere. But until next time, take good care of yourselves, my lovelies, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.